mean, so many people have asked me why I call this book Drunken Angel, and so I took one little chapter to make an effort to explain that. Why an angel? Because I believe that in time, that is what we become in sobriety if we last long enough to the end. Not the winged kind, no, not some haloed cupid or sword swinger, but a kind of flawed angel without wings that belongs to no religion, but rather to a species of human heartbreak unlike any other known. Alcoholics and addicts are unlike any other people I've ever met. I am unlike most people, a blazing mutant of some kind, a wondrous freak. In my mind lurks an urge that will be with me to the end, to put a bottle to my lips and drink myself to death. A judge and jury that I wake up to each morning has pronounced a verdict of guilt on me for no crime that I have committed, just for being alive, and has sentenced me to death, not by guillotine or rope, but by a single drink. It's the strangest thing, this sentence of death, this disease I have, which tests me to the max, and each day holds my existence accountable to the very universe. A God no religion can know as we drunks know it. A God of drunks, who goes with us into our prisons and gutters, bedrooms and businesses, flop houses and alleys, hospitals and mansions, and patiently waits with hand on our shivering shoulders as we groan through yet one more night of near death. Waits to see if maybe this time we've had pain enough, loss enough hangover, illness, fear to ask for help. And yet many cannot ask, and die right before the God of drunks, who I think must weep helplessly when this occurs. So many lose heart and fail. I have seen so many of my brothers and sisters in recovery fall. I've seen so many beautiful people die. The poet found in his room OD'd with a needle in his arm. He was my best friend. The 20-year-old drummer who killed himself over a romance going wrong. Nice kid. The young artist who drank and was found murdered in her Tenderloin hotel room. She was so talented. The buddy who drank and wound up face down in a river in Pennsylvania, drowned. The ones, so many, who jumped off the bridge or the roof, or put a gun barrel to their heads and squeezed the trigger, or in private ate painkillers until found on the floor brain dead, or perished young, or of a destroyed liver. That young nurse, a mother of 3 who had everything, beautiful children, loving husband, looks to die for, a house with 2 cars in the garage, who also had this little problem that she couldn't stay sober or stop smoking crack, no matter how many meetings she attended or what advice she tried to follow, and one day returned home to that garage, ran a hose, turned on the ignition, and gassed herself to death. When you have seen as much of that as I have in my sobriety in the last 20 years, how can I not regard my own reflection with amazement that I am still here? Why me? How did I get so lucky? Really, I don't know. I want to think that I've done something right, but in truth I know better. I do believe in a higher power, and I do work the 12 steps and go to meetings and work with drunks of every kind and description, yet it doesn't seem like enough. It never does. I never feel that I can repay what has been given to me, the love that has been shown, the patience and straight-shooting counsel that has saved my butt time and again. I've met in recovery men and women who are the greatest human beings I've ever known, but don't want their names advertised. Anonymous, quiet angels, invaded by death, propelled by light, who move among us with quiet grace and private suffering, and seek each day to help those around them without fanfare or reward. And so I look back on my life, and it is divided in parts, my drunk years and my sober ones, and I can hardly believe the beauty, meaning, and victory that have attended my sober years.